In the quiet hush that followed the agony of the cross, the world seemed suspended, caught between sorrow and expectation, not yet knowing the miracle to come. Upon the earth, the sun hid its face and the faithful mourned. But deep within the cosmic order, reality shifted. For in that very moment when Jesus Christ laid down his life, a new chapter in the story of salvation began, one unseen by mortal eyes, yet thunderous in its significance. He did not simply accept the fate of death. Christ descended into the very domain most feared, most reviled. The shadowy abyss sometimes called hell, the land of forgotten souls and broken hopes. No tale of heroism can match the audacity of what happened next. Imagine it, an expanse beyond comprehension, boundless and suffocating, thick with shadows and ancient anguish. Here, all hope had been lost. Thieves and prophets, kings and paupers, all who had come before the promise of redemption, waited in restless longing. The darkness itself felt alive, creeping and coiling, as though determined to stifle any breath of hope. And yet, into this void stepped Jesus. Not powerless, not defeated, but as an unconquerable presence. His arrival was not marked by fear, but by blazing, holy power. The uncreated light split the shadows as lightning rends the night sky. Demons cringed, their sinister confidence shaken. Where once they prowled unchallenged, now they cowered, impotent before the Lamb who is also the Lion. Step by step, Jesus drew nearer to the gates barring freedom from the prisoners of death. Massive, formidable, these gates had stood unbreached since the dawn of time, sealed by curses, guarded by monstrous forms twisted by a hunger for torment. But where others would have faltered, Jesus stood unwavering. The howls of ancient evil grew frantic, but even they could sense their rule was ending. His voice rolled forth, limitless, undeniable, a sound as eternal as the heavens themselves. With it, the ancient locks crumbled. The gates, symbols of humanity's severance from divine life, splintered under his command. Chains fell away. What had been a fortress of despair became an open highway for hope. He pressed on through the gloom, seeking the ones for whom he came, Adam and Eve, patriarchs and matriarchs, prophets who had peered through the veil of time, all the souls who in life had longed for redemption. They saw his approach. For some it was a light not seen since the days of Eden. Amazement filled their eyes, heads bowed in long despair were lifted, weariness replaced by warmth. Here in the deepest darkness dawn had finally broken. With words more powerful than any spell, with love deeper than the abyss itself, Jesus gathered them. One by one, he reached for those thought lost. Each life held precious, each story known to him. You are not forgotten, his presence seemed to say. You are not lost. He became the perfect shepherd, leading his flock not only through death's valley, but out of it and toward everlasting light. The shadows struggled, their vengeance mounting. The darkness surged, desperate to reclaim even a few, but none could stand against him. The light burned brighter, peace replaced terror, injustice gave way to restoration. No soul was neglected, not one prisoner left behind in the shadows gripping the world since its fall. Where hopelessness once prevailed, liberation now rang out. All of creation seemed to hold its breath. Then, in a triumph worthy of eternity, Jesus broke free from the realm of death. He was not a shade returning reluctantly to the land of the living, but a conqueror, a champion now beyond the touch of the grave. The stone rolled away, the tomb stood empty, not because his body was stolen, but because death itself had been vanquished. He arose in radiant, unstoppable glory. This, then, is the meaning of Easter. Not just a story of a resurrection long ago, but the ultimate demonstration that nothing, not even hell's deepest prison, can withstand the will of God. Jesus' victory is not symbolic. It is total and everlasting. The bars are broken, the captives are freed, and the path to hope is permanently open. Let this reality flood your heart. No darkness in this world is too thick for his light. No chain of guilt, shame, grief, or despair is beyond the reach of his grace. As surely as he stormed the gates and shattered them, so too can he break every barrier within your soul. When you feel lost, remember, he searches until you are found. When you feel helpless, know that his power is strongest when you are weak. And when shadows close in, trust that his love is fierce, burning away all fear and despair. Easter is more than a holiday, more than a tradition. It is the heartbeat of our hope, the promise that every dark night finds its morning, that every captivity has its freedom, because he who was dead is alive forevermore. Every day you carry the mark of the one who walked through death and rose again. Ask yourself, even now, where do you need his light most? In what corners of your life do you long for freedom, for healing, for hope reborn? He waits to meet you there, just as he descended for the souls of ages past. Let his example embolden your kindness, your courage, your pursuit of justice and compassion. Share this hope, not only with your words, but with your deeds. Stand up for the lost, the lonely, the overlooked. Carry the light you have received, bringing hope where despair still lingers. In small ways and great ones, you reflect the victory won for all by the Savior who would not abandon a single soul. Let Easter be a living fire within you. Let it ignite faith that no shadow can extinguish. Remember, you do not walk alone. The conqueror of death walks beside you, now and always. Spread this truth, live it boldly, and let the story of the risen Christ guide every step you take. The light that shattered hell will never fade. Let it shine through you.